So today we're going to talk about, well, we got a request from a young individual who is curious about what we think the future of the car scene is. If there's going to be like, just overall, are the rules going to change? Are people going to actually be able to modify their cars? Just advice for it, and I think that's a really cool topic. I do also want to note that Max isn't with us today because he's going to have a baby real soon. So a couple episodes are going to be without him, but...
Well, oh yeah, I miss Max. Hey Max. Oh no, he sits here. Hey Max. Oh yeah, really? Oh, okay, you're making fat jokes again, right? Oh, okay. Too bad you're not here, Max. Too bad you're not here.
We're just gonna talk mad shit about Max.
Yeah. You know, when you're in a position and you have a position at, say, work or anything, you know, when you're out and not where you're supposed to be, people do talk shit, Max.
Oh yeah.
So we're talking a lot of shit about you.
Oh yeah.
Especially because he's not here to defend himself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, and
So you just opened up the damn door, homie.
and also I want to take the brief second to apologize for not putting out anything in the past 2 weeks. Thankfully, on our media company side of things, we've been very busy, and so those projects have kind of taken away from doing the personal stuff here with just engine bays and shift talking and all that stuff. But we're getting back on track, and we are looking to keep this consistent again.
Going again. Yep.
And yeah, so don't forget to send us your topics.
For real.
Yeah, we need topics. We definitely need some topics.
But let's talk about what we think the future of the car scene is. For an individual, he's 14 or 13, so he's gonna drive in like what, 3-4 years?
Watch him be 16.
Oh, I'm gonna be embarrassed.
Yeah.
I think I looked at. I think he's like 14. I think he said he was 14.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be driving in like 2-3 years, probably buying his first car in like 3-4 years. So where do we see the industry going in the next couple of years?
Well, not so much the industry. I think he means more so just the pop culture or just the car culture of you know, what we do on a regular basis, car shows, car meets, aftermarket performance parts, or just not even performance parts and cosmetic parts, things like that. I think that's what he's probably more so looking to get a perspective from versus the, you know, manufacturers. They're gonna manufacturers are gonna keep doing what they're doing now.
Yeah, no matter what.
No matter what.
Well, I also think that, I mean, even if you're just a purchaser of a new car and you want to go ahead and, you know, mod it out, I think there's certain points that you need to be really careful on what you do to your car. I have a lot of friends that are buying new cars and they want to do this and do that, and I tell them, hey, you better be careful. You know, be careful when you put those headers on that car.
Yeah.
Be careful when you get that exhaust, because you know they're cracking down on that kind of stuff. So you got to be careful with your loud exhaust. You know, typical things, your windows. You know, the tinted windows, no front license plates. You know, stickers, a lot of stickers on your car. You know, those are the typical things that you got to be careful for.
So you think it's gonna get worse from this point on the cracking down of modifications on vehicles?
I definitely think it is. I think it's gonna get worse. You know, I've seen it already, you know, personally, and you know, with other people that's been pulled over, and you know, now the law enforcement is getting somewhat educated, and they're looking for certain things. So I think if you're in and you want to get some power you want to get some power for your car, and you want to do headers, you better think twice, because they're gonna pop your hood. And that's their go-to move. You know, they want to pop the hood and look for headers.
Do you think that this is going to be nationwide or specific to California?
I think it's just California. I think it's because I think California, because it's so. California has a huge car culture,
Yes,
versus
absolutely.
other states in the country, and it's a big thing out here. It's a big deal, you know. And then you got the crybabies that cry about the people in the car culture.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that car, you know. They're too loud, or you know, you're calling the cops on the freeway when you drive by them, or you know, it's
so stupid.
you got all
man.
these people with their, you know, calling the cops for every little thing, you know, because we live in sensitive California.
I don't
Very
know.
sensitive.
I don't know. I think this is actually might become a blue state thing because Washington, I'm from Seattle, Washington. Washington has the same laws that California has. They just haven't like pushed it as hard, but I know that they're starting to ramp up out there because they have a lot of issues with a big particular street takeover out there in Washington. So I know they're ramping up, and I think Oregon's coming along the same way, because the car scene, I think, is growing. It's still growing. Manufacturers are making cars look sportier. Like, that's what people want. They want a sporty looking car and to make it their own, just like what we do with our phones and why we wear certain clothes and why we decorate our house. Everybody wants to personalize everything. So I think the car scene is going to continue to grow. I think in the next couple of years, we're gonna see a point where there's gonna be a climax of it's too much that the officers are pulling us over for a loud exhaust when it could be completely stock, and it's just a very fast car, so it's loud. And where the people that are modifying, I think there's going to be a point in a couple of years where there's going to be some sort of legal battle between two groups of individuals. I think we're getting to that point.
I want to agree, but I'm going to disagree. Because a car isn't like a shirt that you can just cut the sleeves off and all of a sudden you have a vest. Yeah. So more people, I think, would be inclined to like customize something like fashion. Not everybody wants to customize their car and truly make it personalized.
Yes.
So in that respect, we're still the minority. When we're talking about us modifying our cars, we hang out with each other, so we know each other and we know exactly what's underneath the hoods of our cars. But not everybody knows, not everybody does, and so they look at us like we're the minorities, and rightfully so. We actually are the minorities. I'm willing to bet that still there are, even though we hang out with a bunch of modified Mustangs, there are still more Mustangs out there that are fully stock.
Well, and the other thing is, you got to think, we live in California, Southern California, LA, where it's a ticket state, it's a ticket area. Yeah. So before, you know, they used to put up the speed traps and, you know, the motorcycle cops, you know, sitting on the side with the radar. That was their, you know, income, you know, their revenue. So I think it's more of a reason for the cops to try to look for modified cars, because you realize how much money a front license plate is. $25. Okay, tinted windows, you know, doing, you know, there's fines, you know, so the regular ticketing of speeding, which it's hard to speed in California on the freeways. Yeah. You know, you usually get it in the residential areas, but it's a form of revenue for the police officers. So the more that this comes up where they want to pull people over for modified cars, a police officer can pull a car over and have over $1,500 in fines on one car versus, you know, a $300 ticket for speeding. So it's revenue for the police officers. Yeah. So now they have a target. Now they have something else to look at. So you got to look at it that way, and it's a form of revenue for the police department. So, or your CHP, your local police department or whatever, LAPD. It's revenue. So now we gave them a platform to attack, and that's what they're going to go after. And I think it's only going to get worse, and you know, that's what's going to happen.
I don't know. I hate to play into politics here, but there have been some, you know, I don't particularly care for this person, but Trump is trying to go after California's emission laws. So granted, yeah, like you had said before, it's going to be an uphill battle, but I don't know. California is the worst for freaking everything, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's that's what I'm saying, is like we're getting to a point where there's going to be two groups of people going after the ridiculousness of California. Like, I don't understand front plates. The whole window tinting situation is ridiculous. Like, I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, the other thing is, so I mean, even if the emissions, okay, so say you have modified exhaust, right? But there's still laws in effect that your car can't be a certain decibel, you know, you can't be reading certain decibels, you know, and I think that, you know, it's just something that it's in our culture now. It's something that you got to watch out for, and you know, it's just like, you know, these stay-at-home moms that take their kids to school, and you have a radar cop, police officer sitting down the street waiting to get someone for speeding. And it's a form of revenue. There's money involved. It's not going to stop. It's probably going to get worse, and people just got to watch out for it. You just got to watch out where you travel, how you travel, and what you do to your car.
Yeah, and truth be told, I think that law enforcement, cops, and tickets are those things we know are never going away.
Yeah.
And whether or not that'll have an impact on the future of our car culture, I don't think so. I think it'll probably stay the same in terms of, cops are always going to be looking out for that car that...
It's cat and mouse.
Yeah.
It's cat and mouse,
Yeah.
and that's all it is. It's cat and mouse. We know they're looking for us, and it's like, okay, there's a cop, I mean, it's going to happen, and that's how it is, I think, for most people when they see a police officer. I think we're more normalized to it. We see it. We don't get scared. We see them. We're like, okay, here it goes. It's going down. This guy's gonna light me up. Hey, it happens. But it's normal for us, and it's only gonna get more normal. And with people with modifying their cars, they just got to look at those things. What they're willing to pay. So if you modify your car, you know that you're gonna have to pay.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught speeding. You're gonna get caught with those headers. You're gonna get caught with that exhaust, and you're definitely gonna get caught with those tinted windows.
Right. But going back to the original question though, is what do we think the future of things like car shows are? Car shows, I don't think are going anywhere.
No.
Car meets.
They're gonna get bigger. There's gonna be more of them.
Of course. Car meets, the same thing. They're gonna get bigger. There's gonna be more of them. Street takeovers, unfortunately, they're not going anywhere. They're still gonna happen. And they're just gonna get bigger. Maybe you'll see more people be a little more thoughtful in terms of a street takeover and maybe not support it as much. But you're still gonna get the same assholes that go on and fucking slide their stock ass boring cars in circles and think they're cool. And
I think the car culture is not going to change in the next 3 years. I think it is what it is now. It was this way 10 years ago. It was this way 20 years ago. So a lot of people are not. They think it's new, but it's not new.
Oh.
This has been going on since people have been driving cars.
Yeah.
So it's always going to happen. The car scene is going to stay the same. In fact, it might even get better. It might even get bigger. And, people like going to car shows. They like showing off their cars, and it's never going to change. People want to show off what they have. And that's all there is to it. So the car scene, I think, is not going to change in the next 3 years or 4 years.
I think it's going to grow.
Yeah, it's going to grow.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. If you like watching 3 old guys and 1 chunky girl talk shit about cars, then make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. If you have any ideas or topics that you want us to talk about, you can go to injubase.com and submit an article, and we really appreciate you watching this nonsense.